What's good, y'all? Here's how I'm going to take this ecom coach from 0 to 100K before the end of January with no social media following, no existing offer or product, and starting from absolute scratch. Now, I've helped scale multiple coaches in the past now, one from 0 to 103K in 56 days, 15 to 70K in 30 days, and one even doing 65K in just 13 days. But in these cases, there was always some sort of existing leverage, meaning they had an organic audience, they had existing students they were actively teaching, or some sort of product validation, meaning that they've sold their product or offer in the past and have been successful with it. Now, this time there is none of that. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do it and how you should approach it if you're in the same scenario and starting out from absolute scratch too. Now, if there's one thing I've learned from being in this info space in the past year, it's that the money loves speed. Anything you can do with speed and the money will come. And since we're already over a week into January, me and my team have less than 3 weeks to hit the 100K mark, which means moving with speed will be absolutely essential here. And as you probably know, organic content and building an audience takes time. So for this push, we'll be focusing primarily on paid ads. So what this means is that there's a ton of risk involved, but if we find the winning creatives and angles, then we can pour gas on that fire and get to that 100K mark in no time. But before we can run any ads, there is a ton of shit we have to do. So let's get into that. I have a fat Miro board lined up for y'all. So let's lock in and get into it. Step one is going to be the offer and messaging development. So we have to determine what we're selling, how we're going to present it, and how we're going to package it so it converts aggressively to a brand new audience that have never seen this offer before. So here we can heavily leverage the client's personal experience and success inside of their niche, which is e-com in this situation, both in the product itself and the marketing of the product. So the way we're going to get all that context is through our deep dive client onboarding, which is step two. The very first thing we have every client that we onboard do is film an extensive voice memo with a ton of questions that's structured almost like a podcast, in which they really go deep into their backstory, their failures, their successes, so that we can make relatable copy and authentic positioning and real context for the messaging of the actual offer. This is all the boring marketing shit that we have to do first to lay the groundwork so that we can do all the cool stuff afterwards and really scale up this offer. So it also gives us a behind the scenes look at what it actually took for the coach to become successful in their niche. We also break down their business model, the exact methods they use, so that we can create the most important piece of this entire offer, the unique mechanism. So if a coach, for example, is successful with high ticket dropshipping, that is different from standard dropshipping, which then becomes part of our marketing narrative. Now, if they sold high ticket products to businesses that buy these products annually, that is a very specific tactic that they use that they can teach others, which makes it the unique mechanism. And we can label that as something like the business expense arbitrage method, something with a cool name that we can use to absolutely print. So now we have an offer that's new and has a clear distinguisher between the other offers in the market, and we can build everything else around that, such as the ads, the creatives, the video sales letters, emails, funnels, everything. But now, since we have an offer, we have to determine who we're actually going to sell this offer to and who are the exact profiles of people that are going to buy this. So for our ideal customer profile for this specific launch, we're actually testing two. One is going to be the problem aware people, meaning that they know they need to make a change in their life and they feel stuck and they want to make more money. Very common group that people target in their marketing with products like this. And the other is going to be the solution aware people, meaning that they already believe in online income or maybe e-com itself. They just haven't had an opportunity and haven't been successful with the actual opportunity yet. So just to clarify, the problem aware people know that they have a problem in which they want to make more money and change their life. And the solution aware people already know that e-com is a solution that they can go after to solve the problem that they once had. Now, normally I wouldn't recommend testing multiple awareness levels at once in different ICPs at once. I would do one, validate it, see if it's going to be good or not, and then move on to the next. But since we're starting from absolute zero and have no audience data, we need fast feedback and we need to test everything we possibly can, find a direction to go in and to go in that direction with speed. And like I said before, the majority of this information is going to be found in this voice memo we have our clients create. But the other half of that is going to come from our team call with the client, in which we get all the possible info we could need for any copy, any content, and any assets that we may create. So on that call, I'll have my partner, my copywriter, my content writer, and we'll go deeper into the missing context from the voice memo any weak points and opportunities for leverage, ask more probing questions to reveal specifics in their process of becoming successful in their niche, and maybe the systems that they used or the processes that they used that we can use in the marketing to actually build a super solid product for the people that we are targeting. And we take this process extremely seriously because it's as simple as this. The more info we have, the more assets and variations of assets we can make, which means faster testing, which means faster wins, which means a shit ton more money. So once we have the whole foundation of the offer laid out, the unique mechanism, the people that we're going to be targeting, such as the ICP, and my team has met to go over what the assets are actually going to be and how we're going to make them convert, we can then go ahead and actually build those assets. So video sales letters, funnels, emails, ad scripts, hooks, anything that is actually a tangible thing that someone can view to go ahead and get further down our sales process, we are going to go ahead and make now. We call this our front end packaging. And I want you to keep in mind, since we are moving with so much speed, we make first drafts of all of this, get it tested, get it going, and iterate on it as soon as we can to make it better and better and better, but still sending traffic to it to see where the weak points are and still getting people in the door. So the first funnel I always build is going to be a video sales letter to book a call funnel. And the reason for this is simply faster feedback loops. What that means is that we have someone go onto a sales call, we get the feedback, we make the changes we need to make, and then we take more sales calls, get more feedback, and make the changes. So we get immediate insights into where the gaps are in our funnel, where our marketing might be off, where our messaging might be off, and where we can make the improvements. And we get direct data from sales calls, such as pain points, objections, and what people are actually looking for in the market that we can tailor fit our product to and just convert that much higher with it. So if a certain type of people is showing up to your sales calls, then you can tailor fit your ads to match those kind of people and get way more of those people in the door and converting. And you can also do the opposite. If there's a certain type of people that isn't converting and you don't want them to come through your funnel, then everything on the front end you can change to make sure you're not getting those kind of people inside the door. And these are kind of the iterations you're constantly making to convert better and better and better. The funnel itself doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to look clean, professional, and branded. At this stage, the only really thing that matters is going to be the unique mechanism in the new opportunity that you are packaging and sending people to. Now, the only way we can actually go ahead and see these feedback loops is going to be through data. So we're going to need to set up all of our backend systems and tracking systems, as well as our CRM setup, because a funnel means absolutely nothing without tracking. We need to track every single lead, every single application, every single booked call, and every single close, because in that we can see the people we want to target, as well as where our inefficiencies are and where we can focus our attention. So we use a centralized tracking dashboard that looks like this. Here we can track, which funnels are working, how each one is performing. The CRM automatically updates every single lead status, so we know where every person in our pipeline is, and the leads move based on what actions they take. So if they apply, or if they book a call, or if they don't close, or if they do close, everything is tracked and absolutely taken care of through this backend system. And then the last thing we need to do before we can even think about sending traffic to our ads is going to be the sales team setup. Now, because we are on a short timeline, the sales team has to be absolutely dialed, which means we need to hire quick, we need to train quick, and we need proven guys that we know we can trust and that will move with the speed that we need them to move in. So a way that we shortcut this is actually getting proven closers and setters from our network that maybe we've worked with in the past or are actively working with, so that now we just have to run them through this new offer, the core deliverables and the selling points, give them the pitch deck, and since we already know that they're killers, the rest is just up to execution and them actually going ahead and doing what we need them to do. Now, setting up this whole process before you can even send traffic to your offer would take most coaches and consultants weeks, even months to set up. But since I have a team of sales guys, copywriters, content writers, funnel builders, we can set this all up in just a couple of days, get traffic flowing to your offer and collecting cash as soon as possible. Now, if this is something you would also want help with getting up off the ground and going, or if you have an existing offer that you just need some help scaling with, I do have a growth partner agency in which I help you with exactly that. Top link in the description will be a calendar in which we can book in a time and talk about what it would be like working together and get your offer scaled. But now that all of that back end, front end, marketing, sales stuff is set up, we can finally send traffic to our funnel, move the chains. First down, it's time to collect some fucking money. So now it's all about just filming ads, getting them up, sending eyeballs to them, and getting people into our funnel. So when we're scripting our ads, we have three main components. which are going to be strong hooks. In this example here, you can see we have 3 hooks per body, which basically means since the hook is the most important part of your ad, honestly, we have 3 variations in which we can go ahead and test out. And then after the body of your actual ad, there's a CTA in which we're sending them to, say, our book a call funnel to register for a webinar, go watch a free training, anything along those lines. But with that framework, you can test multiple formats. So the 4 formats we're testing right off the bat are going to be these social proof podcast style ads, Miro boards / whiteboard ads, kind of like what you can see right here, talking head ads that feel like organic content, as well as image ads that have some sort of social proof on them. All 4 of these are converting extremely well, so we're just going to run these up. And the key here is creative volume. So as many different kinds of creatives as you can make. This is going to attract different kinds of people, so we can quickly test and see which kind of ads are going to be the best and where we should focus the most of our attention. And like I said before, we are targeting 2 different awareness levels. So this will help weed out which awareness level is going to be our winner, either problem aware or solution aware people. Now that we have these ads up and running, sending people to our funnel and our offer, the entire rest of the game going to 100K a month is going to be iteration based on data. So once calls are coming in and we can see all of the numbers laid out, we'll analyze the data from the sales calls, we'll organize the feedback we're getting from closers as well as people that are actually showing up to our sales calls, and we'll iterate the assets, the messaging, the hooks, the emails, the reminder text, the sales reps, everything that goes into someone showing up to a sales call or even booking one, and especially closing on one. We'll be editing that process aggressively every single time we see that there is a mistake. And you cannot guess with this stuff. If you're guessing with this stuff and not going off of data, then you're just changing things that maybe don't need to be changed. You're really just walking in the dark. And the changes you do make are probably going to be pretty minor and may even be negative. So data tells you what you need to change and why. So make sure if you are starting from scratch like we are, you have a data collection system that you can rely on and base all of your decisions off of. Now, at this point, we have 2 options. We can either scale the ad spend on the book a call funnel, which means we send more eyeballs to the VSL, which in turn will book more sales calls, or we can launch a webinar for fast cash injection, meaning we get a bunch of people to a live event and sell them all at once, which is risky since this is a brand new offer, but extremely powerful if we can go ahead and get it done. If these webinars are done wrong, they are a waste of time, a waste of money, as you do have to pump quite a bit of ad spend into a webinar for it to be successful. But if done right, you can produce 65K in just 13 days, like I did right here with this webinar. I have a full video breaking down this exact process that I'll link in the description as well if you want to go check that out. But basically, we did 65K in 13 days, and that webinar absolutely printed for us. So since we are trying to hit 100K before the end of January, which is only a few weeks away, we are going to be taking the risk and going for a big webinar push like we have in the past. And what this looks like is a 5-day sprint when you run a webinar with paid ads. You maximize the amount of registrations you can and book calls directly from the webinar. So basically what this would look like is that the ads go live on a Tuesday. They have 4 days to go ahead and register, and the webinar is then on the 5th day. And since this is a 5-day process, we may only get 1 or 2 chances to be successful with a webinar. But if we are successful, we will blow past that 100K mark, no problem at all. Now, throughout this whole process, we are going to be posting long form content. I know I said before that building an audience takes time, but these posts are not for virality. They are solely for sales support and to use as sales assets. So whether it's student interviews, deep breakdowns of the business model, or past personal or client wins, these are all video types that we can send prospects and that will help us convert them on our sales call. So an example video like this would be like 3 things you need to know before starting business model. You know, we break false beliefs, pre-frame the sales call, reduce objections, and increase close rates. And if people can see actual student interviews like this, that real people are getting real results with our product, then they're way more likely to go ahead and go further down the sales process with us. So as soon as we have student interviews ready to go, we will be filming those. We are filming these videos in the background. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole plan to go ahead and hit 100K before the end of January, starting from absolute scratch. If you want to follow the day-by-day process of us actually going ahead and doing this, go check out my Instagram. I'll be showing the day-to-day actions that we're taking and the problems that we run into and the iterations that we are making. And if you're a coach, consultant, or creator who wants to start a coaching program or already has one and wants to scale to 6 figures plus, top link in my bio will be a calendar link. We'll break down all the bottlenecks that you have and build a plan tailor-fitted to your situation so that we can go ahead and hit your goals with your coaching. But that's pretty much it. That's the plan and what I would suggest you go ahead and follow if you're also starting out from scratch. If you have any questions or want to chop it up, feel free to go ahead and hit me on Instagram. But other than that, we'll talk soon. Peace.